Leaders from the Anglican faith recently gathered in England to discuss church and world affairs. And among those invited to participate was a group from the Vatican. The Lambeth Conference is held every 10 years, dating from the first meeting in the late 1800s. This year's gathering took place in London and Canterbury. More than 650 Anglican bishops from around the world took part. The Holy See delegation was led by Catholic Cardinal Kurt Koch, who was invited to take part in the discussions. And joining us now is Silvia Guzzetti, Italian journalist who covers the United Kingdom and followed the Lambeth Conference. Silvia, great to be with you today. I have a question for you. Is it unusual for the Vatican to send a delegation? And did the subject of Catholic-Anglican relations, did it come up at all during the conference?
It's not unusual at all for the Vatican to join the conference. The Vatican, the dicastery for the promotion of Christian unity, which is a Vatican department, always sends a delegation, and quite a big one actually. Several cardinals and archbishops were part of it. And yes, of course, the subject of relation between Catholics and Anglicans came up. One day was dedicated to it, and it was much discussed.
And so, for those who really aren't that familiar, with this conference, can you tell us a little bit more about it, how it was structured, and also what types of themes were discussed?
Yes, well, this is a key moment in the Anglican Communion life. The Anglican Communion counts over 85 million members all over the world. The main province is the Church of England, but is much bigger than that. So as you can imagine, all these bishops, they are over 650, don't get any opportunity to meet all together and to live together, to pray together. And this is exactly what the Lambeth Conference is. And it only happens every 10 years. So it's a crucial moment in the life of this communion. And the main subject discussed were evangelization, environment, it had a big part, mission, Christian unity, so relation with other churches, and secularization, and also sexuality, human dignity. This was also a big subject.
And before I let you go, Silvia, curious, what pressing issues are both Anglicans and Catholics facing today? What can you tell us?
Well, doctrinally, theologically, the two churches are quite far apart because of issue of sexuality. But on the ground, in practical terms, they actually work really well together. And for example, during the conference, it became clear that environment and evangelization, and secularization were subjects where the two churches work really well together and made a lot of progress.
And Silvia, before I let you go, I understand the Archbishop of Canterbury said at the conference that Anglicans recognize Pope Francis as the father of the West. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the Anglicans always look to the Catholic Church for leadership. The Anglicans was a communion born in the 16th century, so much younger than the Catholic Church. And, morally, theologically, the Catholic Church is so much richer, in history, in tradition. And so the Anglicans always look to the Catholic for leadership. This has been happening throughout the centuries. And so it has been affirmed once more at the Lambeth Conference. Several Archbishops of Canterbury have said this. Yes.
Well, Silvia, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us about all of this. We really appreciate it. God bless you.